So let's say we have 2 points A and B, and we are wanting to find the midpoint. The midpoint, if you look at this line, some people may be able to easily recognize it somewhere around here. If I consider this point A, and I look at the x-coordinate of this point A, I can see that the x-coordinate is going to be about 2. And then if I consider the x-coordinate for point B, I can kind of see that the x-coordinate is going to be somewhere around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points more, so it's going to be 8. That's going to be helpful because if I consider what the x-coordinate is of the midpoint, it's going to be directly in the center of my point A and point B's x-coordinates, which means that it's going to be directly in half. So we could count this off. It'd be 3, 4, 5 would be in the middle. Or one way to find out this halfway point is by doing the average. So if I have 2 and 8, if I want to figure out what is the middle of 2 and 8, what I can do is I can add 2 plus 8 and divide it by 2. And that gets me 2 plus 8, which is 10, divided by 2 is 5. And that is what we have down here. It's 5. So I can do the same exact thing for my y-coordinate. I could consider what the y-coordinate is of my A and B by looking at it on the y-axis. So this would be 1, 2, 3. So A would have a y-coordinate of 3. B would have a y-coordinate of 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, I could find this midpoint by just looking at what is directly in between 7 and 3. Which we could count this and say, well, it's going to be 5. Or if we go back over here, again, how do you find the midpoint between 7 and 3? Well, you just add 3 plus 7 over 2, and it gets you 5. Right? So this midpoint is going to be found this way. Now, if I don't have a graph, I can actually find the midpoint if I just have the coordinates between my 2 points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if I have a coordinate 1, so we're going to label it x1, y1. And I have a second coordinate, we'll label it x2, y2. This is just our notation to say this is my first coordinate's x value, my first coordinate's y value, and so on. What I can do is I can say, well, my midpoint then has to have this coordinate. And it is where I add the two x values together, x1 plus x2, and divide it by 2. That's what I just did up here, right? I added the two x coordinates together that I had in my point A and my point B, and I divided it by 2, and it got me my midpoint's x value. And then I can do the same thing for my y value. I can just add my two y values together, y1 plus y2, which is what I did right here. And then I can divide it by 2, which will find the middle of those two values, which got me 5. That's what we did, again, in our graph up here. So this is a very helpful formula because now if I just give you the coordinates, I can use this, add the two x values together, divide by 2, add the two y values together, divide it by 2, and this will always tell me what my midpoint's value is going to be.